Good morning. I'm Clive Cook, co-founder and CEO of Precursor SPC. I quote from one of the conversations we had during our contract with US Space Force: space weather capability is 50 years behind where terrestrial weather capability is today. Precursor is a commercial company focused on providing actionable information in advance of important geospatial events. We provide real-time, high-fidelity space weather mapping. This is space weather nowcasting. This first-of-a-kind capability provides actionable information on how the changing space weather environment directly impacts space-based and terrestrial assets, operations, and plans. Next. Space weather is dynamic, uncontrollable, and extremely variable over the course of any given day. The space weather environment directly impacts the performance of the space asset operator, space warfighter, and critical ground-based infrastructure. Space weather impacts satellite launch, operation and repositioning, radar discrimination and tracking, communications, location-based capabilities, and space domain awareness. Next. The current space weather awareness solutions fall well short. The space weather environment analysis shown here is the actual daily space weather report that comes from NOAA SWIPC or the Second Weather Squadron of the US Air Force. It is a static report using an imperfect, non-representative depiction of the ionosphere due to over-reliance on models and outdated sensors. It provides generic information about global phenomena with almost no assessment of how the space weather environment will impact space assets, operations, or planning. Next. Precursor has developed a unique 4D time plus volume space weather technology, space weather nowcasting. Precursor space weather nowcasting is a unique, extremely high fidelity, real-time technology that measures the changing energy in the ionosphere using artificial intelligence to deliver a 1,000 times gain in both spatial and temporal resolution. It is not a model. It is what is actually happening in real time. This has never been done before. Next. This video here presents the real-time actual space weather conditions and data capture from various satellite-based systems. Just click once. Great, thank you. We create a real-time map of the ionosphere by measuring hundreds of different perspectives of the ionosphere from GNSS, LEO, ionoson, radio occultation, specialized sensors, and radar systems. You see each of these data gathering points and satellites as their orbits cross the sky. Space weather nowcasting captures the real-time evolution of the ionosphere and uses an innovative and state-of-the-art machine learning capability based on data fusion to deliver unmatched dynamic space domain awareness. Click again. Next slide. Thank you. The market for real-time space weather environment reporting and analysis and action is well over $10 billion annually amongst government, industry, and financial services organizations. The market growth potential is significant from both private and public sector, given the requirement for space operators to be aware of the environment they operate within. Precursor has proven capabilities and commercial traction. We've demonstrated real-time, high-fidelity ionospheric mapping over Northern Europe for US Space Force. Precursor is working with the Navy to introduce our space weather capability and to launch a new satellite-based capability that will give even finer resolution of the ionosphere. Precursor engaged with the Air Force to introduce new missile defense capabilities and space weather analytics. And Precursor also is engaged in numerous other discussions to deliver new space domain awareness capabilities. We're partnering with a global reinsurance firm to deliver new insights, better assess long and short-term risk, and to introduce new products and services for space operators. Next, please. Precursor is seeking a PEO for a space weather-based SBIR2 and is raising $4 million in a Series seed round to advance the company to the next milestones and begin commercial launch of our data subscription services. Precursor is presenting as well at the NASA iTech Showcase on December 9th or 8th live in Raleigh, North Carolina. I invite you to join that. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you so much, Clive. Open up the floor for questions.
Hi, very good presentation. This is Sterling Shen from Cincinnati Insurance. I have a couple questions. First, can you share the resolution of the data you currently have? The second one is, do you keep an archive of the historical data for research purposes? If so, how far back does your data go to?
The resolution we can obtain using our real-time space weather nowcasting capability is a cube, a voxel length, width, and altitude of 3 kilometers on a side, as opposed to today, which is literally hundreds of kilometers a side on voxels. And our time resolution right now is in the order of single-digit minutes. We expect with the launch of our satellite with the Navy that will go to sub-minute time resolution. We do not keep an archive of this data, though much of the data is available through classified government archives, and we can rebuild that using our capability as well.
Thank you.
Go ahead, Tim.
Yeah, thank you. Hey, Clive, good to see you again. Question for you. Can you remind me of your business model? What does this cost?
Our business model is we sell our capability as a software as a service, or actually space weather as a service. In this particular case, to government, private organizations, and financial services organizations.
And I assume some sort of subscription. How much are you envisioning that costing somebody?
Right now, based upon the conversations we're having with different private or financial services organizations, it's on the order of $1 to $2 million annual subscription agreement per organization per year, renewable. And there are literally hundreds of those organizations that we can sell to. And for the government in particular, we are working through some interesting models that are more transactional. Some are more transactional and some are more license-based. Because ultimately this capability, they want to not only provide this capability to operators, but they want to deliver it as an autonomous capability in specific assets. So there's different business models based on that.
Go ahead, Cassandra.
Sorry, no, I'm not officially on this one, but I was just really curious to hear why. I recall you being focused, Clive, on earthquake prediction. I was just curious if that's still part of the business, or if there was a pivot.
It is still part of the business. The perturbations in the ionosphere that are caused by space weather, solar events, man-made events, are also caused by earthquakes. So the space weather perturbations and ionospheric perturbations are a precursor to forecasting earthquakes, one of the precursors. So it's absolutely a requirement to do that and have that very high resolution insight into how the ionosphere is changing.